Journey into Summerfield by David Pigou. While I sit upstairs in the Greensboro Public Library and I log on to my computer, whether it is on Market 09 or Washington 08, I imagine I am at the beach. I try to imagine that the AC inside the library is like the air that blows off the ocean, cool and sometimes warm. I cannot imagine the sand beneath my feet because there is no sand inside the library. The fold-up chairs that we sit in at the beach is just like the chairs at the library, hard and uncomfortable. The fold-up chairs and the library chairs feel like they have a bar underneath them, and that makes it hard to sit in them. The ocean smells of fish and salt, but it is so cool and sometimes rough. The only place I can imagine the sand beneath my feet is in Summerfield. When I was younger, I had a sandbox, which I loved to sit in outside my back patio, and I would get buckets of water and pour it all over the sand, just as I would at Wrightsville Beach. The memories I have in Summerfield are very precious to me. I can still picture my grandma's flower bed right outside the brick house. My mom's car is parked on the right-hand side of the driveway. There are people standing outside the large pine trees looking at a little black snake slithering up the tree. Summerfield had that woodsy pine smell to it. Because of all the pine trees that grow beside my grandpa's house, it makes everything smell of pine sap. I can still imagine what the house looked like before it was renovated. There is a long hallway with a big air vent above the hallway. And my grandpa's room would have, just as you entered the room, a large dresser on the right, an air conditioner in the window, a dresser in front of the window closest to his bed, a chair right near his closet. My grandma's room would have a side table beside her bed. Against the wall would be her dresser and a small TV on top. Another dresser beside of her bed, full of perfume and makeup and jewelry. The rest of the house is exclamatory. The kitchen is long and spacious. On the left side are a stove, refrigerator, and toaster, and on the other side is the dishwasher and microwave. You can look out into the front yard out of the window that sits above the sink. It sits above the kitchen sink, as I said before. The living room is brick, while the dining room is made of wood. The back porch overlooks the lake behind the house. In addition, when I think of it, it reminds me of being at the beach again. The house from the back looks like a beach house. Beneath the porch is the basement where you can go to cool off, or you can go to play ping pong. You can eat on the porch and look out toward the lake. You can feel the breeze coming from the lake, coming up towards the house. The lake, just like the beach, smells of fish. People go fishing in the lake, boats floating on top, and people relaxing in them while waiting to catch the fish that swim by. I have lived in Summerfield all my life, and I can still smell the pine and tell you exactly where my grandma's flower bed once stood, what the house looked like many years ago, and what tree everyone crowded around when they took a picture of the miniaturized black snake crawling up the oak tree. No matter where I am living, I will still have memories of Summerfield, and even if I turn 60 years old, I will still feel like I am back in my childhood home. I will always remember Summerfield for the rest of my life. Now I look around and I realize that I am back in the library. I wake up and realize that I am sitting at Washington 08 and that I am no longer living in Summerfield. There are times when I am in my campsite off of Yanceyville Street that I am still reminded of Summerfield. I realize now that I am no longer in Summerfield but in a very different world, a world that does not have that magic like my hometown had once had. There are no lakes for me to imagine as being part of either the beach or the lake behind my grandpa's house. There are no brick houses for me to imagine as being part of that house, or flower beds that remind me of my grandma. Where did all the magic go? I guess deep in my heart and mind, that is where all the magic will live forever. This is my reality. Going back and forth to the library, seeing the same people and doing the same things every day. The end.